Right now, the federal government is commissioning the Court of Appeal Judges' Quarters in Katampe District in Abuja, and News Central will now be heading over to see the live views of the commissioning.
Top-level staff of the FCT, including the Chief of Staff, Head of Service, ES FCDA, Mandate Secretary, Senior Special Assistants to the Honorable Minister, Mandate Secretaries, Permanent Secretaries and Heads of Agencies, the contractor, Architect Akko Adakboyi of Details to Dot Development Nigeria Limited, friends of the Honorable Minister here present, security agencies, our esteemed traditional ruler, stakeholders, women and youth groups, the media, distinguished invited guests. We welcome you to a double event today, the official commissioning of the Appeal Court Judges' Quarters and the official flag-off of additional quarters for National Industrial Court and Code of Conduct Tribunal judges here in Katampe District of Abuja. Your Excellencies, my name is Eugenia Abu and I shall be your Director of Ceremony. I'd like you to take a look across from where you are seated at this commissioning of the Appeal Court Judges' Quarters. Such beautiful homes to behold, constructed by contractors to be watched, indigenous Nigerian contractors, carefully selected by the Honorable Minister and his team, Details 2 Dot Development Nigeria Limited. Today we gather in solidarity with the FCT under the watch of the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Ezenwo Nyesonwike, for the commissioning of these beautiful quarters supervised by the FCDA, which is FCT's arm responsible for the physical planning, development and infrastructure of Abuja. These quarters are provided under the FCDA's quality infrastructure provision for enhancing livability and comfort and supporting judicial excellence and building a greater federal capital. With the Minister's eagle eye and constant tour of projects, the man with the responsibility to walk us through, whose eyes are 24 hours on the ball, is an engineer whose role is to ensure standards and quality across board and according to the specifications of the FCT Minister and his team. The singular role rests on the shoulders of the ES FCDA Engineer Richard Yonana Dauda, who will now walk up to deliver what you would consider an overview of these buildings. Please encourage him.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, here represented by the Honorable Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Prince Latif Fagbemi, SAN. The President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Engbe-Menson, the Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Ezenwo Nyesonwike, CON, members of the National Assembly that are here, both serving and former, all heads of courts, all top government officials here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, kindly permit me to align with the protocol as established by the Director of Programs as I present a brief overview on the construction of 10 judges' quarters for the Court of Appeal judges here in Katampe District, Abuja. Your Excellency, in line with its mandate of providing public infrastructure and buildings in the Federal Capital City, the FCT administration awarded a contract for the design and construction of 40 judges' quarters at Katampe District. 10 of these are specifically for the judges of the Appeal Court. The project is aimed at providing secured, functional, and comfortable residential accommodation for the judicial officers to enhance the delivery of justice, which is critical for the sustenance of law and order in any society. The welfare of judicial officers has a strong connection with the efficiency of delivery of justice. Your Excellency, The contract for the design and construction of the judges' quarters in Katampe was awarded to Messrs. Details to Dot Development Nigeria Limited in September 2024. Work commenced immediately. The scope of works for the project includes a construction of 10 fully furnished 5-bedroom duplexes with the boys' quarters for each of the houses within the judges' estate. Other amenities provided in this estate include an event center, which can take at least 150 people, a neighborhood shop, gatehouse generators in generator houses, general landscaping, and a recreational ground, as well as perimeter fencing. Other estate infrastructure like asphalt paved access roads, walkways, electricity power supply, as well as water reticulation are also provided. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the project has been fully completed and delivered in line with the standards and specifications and is ready for commissioning. In addition, Your Excellency, the foundation laying of 10 additional new residential quarters for judges of the National Industrial Court and the Code of Conduct Tribunal is to be laid here in Katampe District also, on a site just opposite the gate here. We thank the President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and the Honorable Minister of FCT, Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, CON, for the privilege to be part of this project. Thank you for coming. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much, FCDA. I'd like to put you on notice that we have the very distinguished Senator John Onwaneno, Minister of State for Industry in the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, has joined us today. We appreciate you. Our own traditional ruler, His Royal Majesty, Chief Sergeant Awuse, is here with us. We appreciate him. And of course, the SAN Didi Dodo is here with us today. We appreciate your presence. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, 5-bedroom houses, an event center that will take 150 people, perimeter fencing. As the Honorable Minister of the FCT always says, every time something like this is going on, we suddenly find other property developers become interested. Your Excellency, the other properties around here that have laid fallow are beginning to rear their heads because they see a beautiful project that is very much beside them. This is also to say that everywhere the FCT goes, development follows, whether it is in road construction, whether it is in a building, and today we're very excited with these really beautiful houses. We joined the FCT administration on this fine and sunny weather day to commission this tranche of gorgeous houses, Appeal Court Judges' Quarters. Yesterday at the Appeal Court Complex Commissioning, Mr. President said, the welfare of members of the judiciary is critical for the way they dispense justice, and it is very important when all is said and done. My sister is an architect. Her husband is an architect. My daughter is an architect. So I understand elevations and axonometric, good lines and fine buildings. Although I'm not a professional, I see how fine these houses are, and I've low-keyed taught them and gone inside the buildings. They are beautiful inside and out. But I also understand that the Honorable Minister has his eye on every detail, every line, and the contractor understands this. Help me welcome this contractor who has done such a lovely job. Details to Development Nigeria Limited deserve their flowers. Architect Ako Adakpoi is the MD. Let's invite him to deliver the contractor's comment.
The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Mensen, the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Barrister Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, CON, members of the National Assembly, serving and former, all heads of courts, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. For want of time, please permit me to ride on the horse of the already existing protocols. My name is Architect Akwadapo, FNIA, Principal of Details to Dot Development Nigeria Limited, a fully indigenous construction company. Today is a day of immense pride, gratitude, and fulfillment as we gather for two significant milestones: the commissioning of the Court of Appeal Judges' Quarters comprising 10 residential units and the groundbreaking of a new development that will provide residences for the distinguished judges of the National Industrial Court and members of the Code of Conduct Tribunal. This occasion is a testament to the commitment of the federal government under the visionary leadership of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to strengthening public institutions through the renewed hope agenda. It demonstrates that when vision is matched with purposeful leadership and effective execution, meaningful results can be achieved for the benefit of all Nigerians. From the groundbreaking in October 2024 to today, Tuesday, 16 June 2026, approximately 20 months, Details to Dot has had the honor of constructing and furnishing residences worthy of the men and women who serve on one of Nigeria's most consequential courts. The Court of Appeal occupies a critical position in our justice system, and it is only fitting that the distinguished justices who serve at that level are provided with residences that reflect the importance of their responsibilities to our nation. Projects such as this remind us that infrastructure is not merely about buildings. It is about creating environments that enable institutions to function effectively. We are also pleased that beyond the physical structures delivered, this development has made a meaningful contribution to economic activity. Throughout the construction period, the project generated employment and business opportunities for over 2,000 Nigerians, directly and indirectly, including engineers, architects, builders, artisans, technicians, suppliers, transport operators, vendors, numerous support service providers, and many others whose efforts contributed to the successful delivery of this project. The impact of those opportunities has extended to families, communities, and businesses across Federal Capital Territory and beyond. Completing a 40-unit development in 20 months does not happen by accident. It requires strong client relationship leadership, and the Honorable Minister of FCT, by Sanyesom Ezenwonwike CON, provided exactly that. His regular site inspections kept the pressure constructive. His direct feedback kept quality sharp. His insistence on accountability kept timelines in view. His leadership continues to set a commendable standard for infrastructure delivery within the Federal Capital Territory. We also extend our genuine appreciation to the management and project teams of the Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA. Their professionalism and collaborative approach through the project has been a model of how public-private project delivery should work. Distinguished guests, the Court of Appeal section being commissioned today consists of 10 fully furnished 5-bedroom duplexes, 10 fully furnished 3-bedroom domestic quarters, dedicated power infrastructure and utility services, gatehouse and security infrastructure, dedicated event center shop, internal road network, landscaping, and supporting infrastructure. Each duplex has been carefully designed and constructed to provide comfort, functionality, and convenience, featuring spacious main lounge, private lounge, and family lounge, dedicated study room, 5 ensuite bedrooms, spacious modern kitchen, ante-room, and 3 ensuite domestic rooms, ample parking space accommodating up to 6 vehicles. These residences have been built to provide a secure, comfortable, and befitting living environment for the occupants for many years to come. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, with the commissioning of this Court of Appeal section now delivered, we are pleased to mention the second occasion for today, the groundbreaking of a new project that will extend the same standard of residential infrastructure to 2 more critical institutions. Your Excellency, we are honored to break ground today on the development that will provide purpose-built residential accommodation for judges of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria and members of the Code of Conduct Tribunal. These are institutions that play vital roles in the stability of our democracy and the fairness of our public life. And this investment in the welfare is a direct reflection of Mr. President's renewed hope agenda. This new development will comprise 7 residential buildings for the National Industrial Court of Nigeria and 3 residential buildings for the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Each building will be constructed and furnished to the same specification standards that we have delivered on the Judges' Quarters project commissioned today. Every unit will feature spacious living rooms, 5 ensuite bedrooms, dedicated study, modern kitchen, domestic quarters, and adequate parking, all set within a secure, well-serviced residential environment. A police station will also be built to secure the entire judges' quarters. When we gather once more on this ground to commission these buildings, it will be another demonstration of what this administration is committed to: infrastructure that serves people, institutions that are supported to function, and a Nigeria that is truly renewed. We made a promise at the groundbreaking of Judges' Quarters in October 2024. Today, that promise stands commissioned. We make the same promise and commitment here. Details to Dot will deliver. On behalf of Details to Dot Development Nigeria Limited, I thank His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Honorable Minister of the FCT, the FCDA, the Judiciary, our consultants, subcontractors, suppliers, and every individual whose support and hard work made both today's occasions possible. God bless the Federal Capital Territory. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, Architect Adapoyi, for giving us the opportunity not only to hear about what you have put in place, but also the flag off, which is not far away from here. Congratulations all round to all stakeholders, led in chief by the Honorable Minister of the FCT and supported in chief by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is represented today by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice. We thank you most sincerely. I'd like to crave the indulgence of His Excellency, Mr. President's representative, to just take a couple of recognitions. I'd like to, first of all, let you know that once we get to the flag off will be led by the Honorable Minister, who will take the President's representative across the road here for that flag off. We'll have, of course, the Honorable Minister, the Head of Service, the Honorable Minister of State Industry, who is here with us, the FCDA, the contractor, the distinguished Senator Jaribe, distinguished Senator Orwell Onyeso. We'll also have, of course, the Chairman of the Code of Conduct Bureau and the President of the Industrial Court joining them. The President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Honorable Justice B.B. Kanyi, we welcome you. I'd like to quickly welcome the entourage of the Honorable Minister, the very distinguished Senator Mao Ohabunwa, Chairman, PDP Board of Trustees, His Royal Majesty Sergeant Chidi Awuse, Honorable Chukwuemeka Aaron, Deputy National Chairman, PDP, Honorable Victor Giadom, Vice Chairman, APC South-South, Senator Philip Aduda, Senator Magnus Abe, Senator Issa Maina, Professor Emmanuel Adibe, Chief Felix Obwa, Honorable Eric Osage, and Engineer Chukwuemeka Woke. Today, we also would like to recognize, and this is from the desk of the Master of Ceremony, the First Lady of the FCT, who is amongst the Justices of the Court of Appeal. We welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice Eberechi Nyesom Wike, who is here with us today. We appreciate your presence, amongst other things, in your capacity as a Justice of the Court of Appeal, and is your capacity as the wife of the Honorable Minister. We thank you. It is heartwarming to hear that God gives everyone their gifts, their favors. And yesterday, the Honorable Minister of FCT, Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, explained the grace of God in the simplest of forms. When people ask why is it that it is under you that these far-reaching programs are done, and he answered it in words akin to this: because when God chooses you for blessings, it is out of man's hands. Truly, a blessed woman who is going from success to success, and whose birthday it was last Saturday. Happy birthday, my Lord, the Honorable Monica Dongban-Menson, President of the Court of Appeal. As a year is added onto your life, may God's grace never cease in your home. Time now to invite the beneficiary of these appeal court judges' quarters, the President of the Court of Appeal, who got a full-on complex yesterday and today is part of this historic ceremony. Welcome with me, my Lord, the Honorable Justice Monica Dongban-Menson.
His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably here represented by the Honorable the Minister of Justice, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, His Excellency, the Honorable the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, of many titles and life venture, of course, I recognize the First Lady of the FCT, my dear colleague, Justice Suzette Eberechi Wike, my beloved colleagues, presiding justices of different divisions of the 20 divisions of the Court of Appeal, and other justices of the Court of Appeal, distinguished senators and other legislators here present, our Royal Father, Your Excellencies, our other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and men and women of the press. I greet you all. It is a singular privilege to witness this momentous occasion, which signifies far more than the unveiling of a residential estate. It represents the fulfillment of a fundamental institutional obligation, the provision of a secure, dignified, and tranquil environment for those entrusted with the solemn responsibility of administering justice. The commissioning of these modern justice quarters in our continuing commitment to strengthening the judicial effectiveness through the enhancement of judicial welfare. While public attention is naturally directed towards proceedings within the courtroom, the quality of justice dispensation therein is profoundly influenced by the conditions under which judicial officers repose, reflect, and deliberate beyond it. The provision of these quarters serves the cause of justice in both practical and ethical dimensions. These quarters constitute an extension of the intellectual, contemplative space essential to judicial work, fostering the concentration, reflection, and scholarly inquiry necessary for the development of jurisprudence and the principled administration of justice. It is therefore a constitutional and institutional obligation owned by the state to a co-equal branch of government, the judiciary. The legitimacy and effectiveness of public institutions depend upon the state's responsibility to create conditions that enable each branch to discharge its constitutional functions independently and efficiently. The primary beneficiaries are the public and the constitutional order that the judiciary is entrusted to uphold. A safe residential environment for honorable justices is a fundamental institutional necessity that supports judicial independence, effective justice delivery, and democratic stability. Secure housing protects justices and their families from the manifold forms of external coercion and the latent risks of reprisals that many that may accompany the conscientious discharge of judicial responsibilities. It also safeguards the integrity and confidentiality of judicial processes by reducing vulnerabilities to unauthorized access or improper interference. A secure living environment enhances well-being, productivity, and concentration on adjudicative duties. As an important welfare consideration, adequate residential security attracts and retains experienced judicial officers, thereby strengthening the rule of law, public confidence, and national stability. This commissioning comes at a particularly historic moment for our court as we commemorate its 50th anniversary. For 5 decades, the institution has remained steadfast in upholding justice and the rule of law. As we reflect on this rich legacy, we must also look ahead to the future. The continued development of the judiciary must correspond with the broader growth of the Federal Capital Territory and indeed other states where the Court of Appeal is located. While significant investments have strengthened other branches of government, the judiciary and its supporting structures remain comparatively undeveloped and infrastructural terms. When I was the PJ of Enugu Division, I pleaded with the governor to take over the houses occupied by justices of the Court of Appeal and turn them into the museum for the purpose of retaining the history of our nation, because we are occupying the houses that were occupied by then ministers, the very first ministers of this nation, and we are still occupying those houses. They have gone beyond repairs, but we are still enduring and living there. I lived in one of the quarters. Building a judiciary fit for the next 50 years, therefore, requires sustained investment in modern facilities, technological advancement, and the welfare of our judicial officers. By strengthening these foundations today, we ensure that the court remains robust, attracts the finest legal minds, and is fully equipped to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving capital city and nation. A project of this scale requires seamless collaboration. On behalf of the court, my brother justices, and my humble self, I express our profound appreciation to the administration of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we profoundly appreciate the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Mr. Project, Nyesom Wike, CON. Your recognition that judicial welfare is an indispensable pillar of the rule of law has made this project a reality. I also extend my gratitude to my brother justices for remaining steadfast in the discharge of their sacred duty, despite scarce resources and limited welfare conditions. The steadfast commitment to the administration of justice has sustained the court through challenging circumstances and contributed significantly to the achievements we celebrate today. May this estate serve as a space of enduring peace, comfort, and renewal for my lords. May it provide the requisite serenity and quietude essential for sustained reflection, deliberation, and the careful formulation of judgments that continue to uphold the rule of law, safeguard the vulnerable, and reinforce the foundational principles of our nation. I extend my sincere appreciation to all present and I pray that the Almighty God continues to bless and preserve our judiciary and the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and hope that these beautiful houses will serve as samples to be replicated in the other divisions of the court. Thank you very much.
For an environment of peace, to protect justices and their families from external coercion, and also to provide intellectual contemplation, a space essential for judicial work. Please give another round of applause to the President of the Court of Appeal, my Lord, Honorable Justice Monica Dongban Benson. Permit me, Your Excellency, sir, to go through the Honorable Justices as I have them here. Honorable Justice Mohammed A. Danjuma, Presiding Justice of the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division. Honorable Justice B.B. Aliyu, Honorable Justice of the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division. Honorable Justice A.I. Banjoko, Honorable Justice, Abuja Division. Honorable Justice Ngozika U. Okaisabo, Honorable Justice of the Court of Appeal. Honorable Justice Eberechi Suzette Nyesom Wike, Honorable Justice of the Court of Appeal. Honorable Justice Oyeyoju Oyewumi, Honorable Justice of the Court of Appeal. We thank you so very much for your presence here today. We appreciate you. I'd like to put on record that we have the APC National Publicity Secretary, Barrister Felix Chidi Morka. Your Excellencies, last year I was deeply honored to have been the Director of Ceremony for the flag off for these quarters. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, trusting the Honorable Minister to keep a promise. That promise has been kept. Seeing them come to life is so beautiful. We are flagging off in additional quarters for National Industrial Court and Code of Conduct Tribunal judges at Katambe District, Abuja, just across the road. It is now my pleasure to invite my Lord Honorable Justice B.B. Kanye, PhD, President, National Industrial Court of Nigeria, to deliver his own commentary as the lead beneficiary, along with the Code of Conduct Bureau, of those houses that will spring up within the next year or so across the road. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
Your Excellency, the representative of the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, I must apologize for coming a little bit late. Because of coming late, I really don't know the protocol. So if I make an error, please excuse me. I understand the Honorable Attorney General is representing the President. I extend my profound courtesies. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, my Lord, the President of the Court of Appeal, Justices of the Court of Appeal, and other judges who are here, I understand they are the legislature, and of course the management and staff distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and particularly members of the press, It's an honor to be asked to deliver a goodwill message at today's event. And so it is with great joy that on the invitation of His Excellency Ezenwo Iyosam Wike, CON, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, that I, on behalf of the judges, management, and staff of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, deliver this goodwill message at the presidential flag off of the construction of the quarters. For this, I must thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who approved the project. His Lordship Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori Ola Tokumbo Kekere Ekun, GCON, the Honorable the Chief Justice of Nigeria, for allowing it, and His Excellency the Honorable Minister of the FCT 26. But I must note here that the NIC did not, however, commence sitting until 1978, when the first president of the court, Honorable Justice Paul Atilade of blessed memory, was appointed. We are particularly elated for this gift of judicial houses for the NICN. The presidential flag-off ceremony is not just a significant and commendable milestone. It is coming at no better time than now, more so given this administration's emphasis on improving judicial welfare and independence. Providing safe, comfortable, and secure residences is no doubt crucial for the judiciary to function effectively without fear or external influence. Like other public servants, judicial officers perform better when their personal security and mental well-being are assured. This housing initiative expectedly will address these concerns and enable the occupants to fully dedicate themselves to their judicial responsibilities. The project will thus contribute to a more focused and efficient judiciary. I note and indeed applaud the decision to provide us with judicial housing in the FCT. It is housing in secure environments ensures the security of judicial officers. 2, it promotes institutional dignity in that decent purpose-built accommodation serves as practical tools to safeguard judicial autonomy, allowing judges to focus entirely on their crucial responsibilities. 3, commitment to welfare is reinforced in that, driven by the policies of the administration, the projects are seen as a bold change to the narrative of judges living in inadequate or rented houses. And lastly, judicial housing represents some kind of long-term asset, in that the houses are designed to ensure that judicial officers are comfortable during active service and have befitting homes when they retire. The Judiciary Housing Project goes beyond rhetoric and is a practical demonstration of support for the judiciary, which reinforces public trust in the justice system. Once again, for us at the NICN, we can only recall with nostalgia the donation by His Excellency, the FCT Minister, when he was governor of Rivers State, of not just our courts building, but also 4 residential houses for the 4 judges in Port Harcourt Division. This singular support to us has enabled the NICN to function effectively in Port Harcourt, contributing to a more focused, efficient, and impartial court. The provision of residences for our 4 judges enabled them to fully dedicate themselves to their rigorous responsibilities of interpreting and applying the law, earning in the process public trust in the labor justice system. As I draw the curtains in this goodwill message, Knowing Your Excellency's reputation, Abuja has turned a new phase. I have no doubt whatsoever that this project will be of the highest standard and will be completed in good time. The future of the Nigerian judiciary looks bright indeed, and we at the NICN are ready to make it even brighter as we contribute to a more focused and efficient court system. Once again, as I express gratitude, may I seize this opportunity to congratulate Your Excellency and your team on the commencement of this project. I thank you all for your attention.
Honorable Justice B.B. Kanye, PhD, President, National Industrial Court of Nigeria, reiterating what many speakers here have said about the fact that judicial officers do better when their personal welfare and mental well-being is assured. He makes the rounds to greet the representative of the President, the Attorney General, and of course the Honorable Minister of State, Industry, and he also says hello to the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Dongban-Mensah. We thank him for his intervention. Please appreciate him as he makes his way back to his seat. We have, along with the President, National Industrial Court of Nigeria, justices from the Industrial Court, Honorable Justice Obaseki Osaye Ayodele, Honorable Justice J.T. Agbadu Fishim, Honorable Justice O.Y. Anwe, Honorable Justice R.B. Hastrop, Honorable Justice E.D. Isele, Honorable Justice M.A. Namtari, Honorable Justice B.A. Alkali, and Honorable Justice E.D. Subilim. We thank you all for coming to join the President of the National Industrial Court and, of course, the representative of Mr. President and the Honorable Minister at this occasion. We welcome you. Your Excellencies, Mr. President has deemed it fit to send a man who is a prince and a man of the law. We are calling somebody else to speak before the Honorable Minister comes forward. But I would like to regale you with his princeship, the representative of Mr. President. In Yoruba, Omoba means a prince, a truly formidable position reserved only for royals. In Kwara State, we're pleased to have in our midst, representing Mr. President today, a Prince of Ijagbo, a historic town in the Oyun local government area of Kwara State. And in traditional parlance, Your Excellencies, you know, he should be walking around with two traditional security men, carrying spears and wearing snake skin and animal skin, singing his praise. But this prince is a community leader and truly a humble man without guile, who is our own, sitting at the Federal Executive Council. We thank you, sir, for being here with us. Please, let's celebrate the prince. Every day we wake up with somewhere to go. Sometimes it is to visit our friends or have a drink with family. That is casual. It is very important. It is friendship. It is family. But when we wake up to go somewhere where we are part of history, where we are part of legacy, it chimes differently, feels purposeful, and feels powerful. When we leave our homes and go somewhere where we go matters. And I tell you for free, our coming here today matters to each and every one of us because we could have been elsewhere. But we chose humanity and we chose impact, legacy, and support for judicial excellence. We are without a doubt proud of the work the FCT Minister and his team have done and are driving with the support of His Excellency Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose mantra is not just support for the judiciary and the rule of law, but an interest in the men and women who dispense justice, advocating at all times for justice without bias. And without bias is the gratitude that will be given in her speech today by the Head of Service, who is representing the Honorable Minister of State. Please help me welcome FCT Head of Service, Mrs. Nancy Nathan.
His Excellency, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, ably represented by the Attorney General of the Federation, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Dr. Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, CON, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of State, Trade and Investment, the President and Justices of the Court of Appeal, distinguished senators and honorable members of the National Assembly, both serving and former, friends and associates of the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Executive Chairman of the Area Council here present, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply honored to deliver this vote of thanks at the successful commissioning of 10 judges' quarters for the Court of Appeal and the flag of additional quarters for the National Industrial Court and the Code of Conduct Tribunal here at Katampe District. First, I want to thank the Almighty God for granting us the opportunity to witness this landmark event and for protection over the Federal Capital Territory and the nation. On behalf of the Federal Capital Territory, I wish to extend our heartfelt appreciation to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for gracing this occasion with his presence and for inaugurating these vital facilities. Mr. President, your commitment to strengthening judicial infrastructure demonstrates a clear respect for the rule of law and the independence of judiciary. We are sincerely thankful to our courageous and proactive leader, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Dr. Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, CON, the Hasken Abuja, and the Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Maria Mahmoud, for their visionary leadership and dedication and hands-on oversight from planning to completion. To the judiciary, we thank you for your continued service and sacrifice in upholding Nigeria's law. It is our hope that these new residencies will enhance security, well-being, and the ability of the judiciary to deliver fair and timely justice to our people. As FCT administration, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to delivering quality services and sustainable development to our residents. We pledge to continue working diligently to implement projects that will meet aspirations of our people and fulfill our mandate effectively. Our heartfelt gratitude to the contractors and all stakeholders involved. Your professionalism and dedication are truly commendable and vital to the successful execution of this project. Finally, to the numerous supporters of our great leader, thank you for your continuous encouragement and faith in him to do more impactful projects in FCT. Thank you. God bless the Federal Capital Territory. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the head of service of the FCT for her heart-warming vote of thanks. May I take this opportunity once more to repeat the names of those who would be going to the flag-off just across the road, led by the Honorable Minister of the FCT, of course, the representative of Mr. President, the President of the Court of Appeal, President of the Industrial Court, Chairman, Code of Conduct Bureau, the FCDA, the contractor, Senator Jaribe, Senator Allwell. We expect that they would line up behind the Honorable Minister to go for that flag off across the road. Your Excellencies, once your mind is constantly abuzz, once you drink, sleep, and speak infrastructure, you become astute at holding everyone accountable to deliver, no matter what time of day. This we understand of the FCT Minister, Ezenwo Nyesom Wike. But what we need to add is another layer of infrastructural sagacity. When you add that to the new things that he's doing, which is branding, media strategy, and commissioning expertise, a man whose interest is to push Mr. President's renewed hope agenda through infrastructural development in the FCT. He has also delved into a high-level branding of project delivery, often thought to belong only to creatives. The Honourable Minister of the FCT has elevated commissioning to a high art, inviting the creme de la creme, attracting top-level personalities, FCT, FCDA staff, communities, and stakeholders concerned. Every FCT, FCDA commissioning is an event with cadence and flair. The icing on the cake is the special guest of honor for this event, which always is His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or his representatives at the very highest level. Add that to the live coverage where he says, I want them to see what Mr. President is doing. If they turn right, they will see it. If they turn left, they will see it. Everywhere, I want them to be suffused with media that tells them what Mr. President is doing. A man whose infrastructural flair is well recognized, but whose branding and media savvy is now well known. Welcome with me, Hasking Abuja, FCT Minister, Ezenwo Nyesom Wike.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, ably represented by the Honorable Attorney General, Minister of Justice, Prince Latif Fawemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, my dear brother, the Minister of State, Industries, the civil senators, you are present, particularly Senator Yesu and Senator Agbob Jeremy, the President of the Court of Appeal and Justices of the Court of Appeal that are here, the President of Nigerian Industrial Court and Justices of the Nigerian Industrial Court, my dear brother and friend who has always supported us, Damian Dodo, SN, who has always made sure that he attends every of our commissioning that has to do with the judiciary. I sincerely thank you for coming. Our dear leaders, my chief, Newelemo, Sergeant Tawusi, and all the members of the Rainbow Coalition that are here, mandate secretaries, head of service of the FCT, and permanent secretaries that are here, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I said yesterday, let me not forget, even though I've eaten yesterday, I want to eat today too. So let me also recognize my dear wife. I hope today's soup will be better than yesterday's soup. Justice Susan Tebrechi, yes, on weekend. Mr. President, let me also thank you for attending day 5 of our commissioning program. Today we're here to commission and hand over the residents of the Justice of Court of Appeal. When we hand over, what they do with it is no longer our responsibility. Luckily, we have given them their CFO. So we have given them their CFO the day, my Lord, the Chief Justice, who laid the foundation of these projects, the one of the Court of Appeal, the one of the Federal High Court, and the one of the FCT High Court. Let me just say that sometimes our public officers were always afraid of what people will say. When we came on board, and Mr. President had given out this directive, not only to provide a complex for the Abuja Judicial Court of Appeal, he did also say about their residences. So we left office, and I was looking around where we can get land for this project. Now we are seeing roads here. There was no road at all. So this land belongs to Julius Berger. I will say they signed Julius Berger. They said, this is the property of Julius Berger. I said, thank you very much. So I looked around, no road, nowhere to take land. So I went back to the office. I said, when did I allocate this land to Julius Berger? 15 years ago, fine. I called Julius Berger. 15 years ago, you've not developed the land. He said, oh, they are waiting for infrastructure. I said, okay, you are waiting for infrastructure. After taking our land, no problem. I revoked the land for public interest. So all of us social media, oh, it's a land grabber. He has come to grab land. He will see what happens. So, you know, I'm not in social media. So one day I came back home and my wife was asking me, what is all this you grabbing land grabbing? I said, look, I'm a politician. Do your own work. Let me do my own work. If you don't want to be abused, don't be a politician. In fact, the day you become a politician, the day they will write your history. Even those who don't know you, they will write your history. And so I thank God we are here today. They can now see that I'm didn't come to grab land. I only came to see where we can develop, provide infrastructure for the judicial officers. So I want to tell everybody that once you know what you are doing, don't bother. I don't even listen to what people are saying. I have thick skin. If you like abuse me from morning till night, I just come back, I ask my wife, is there any good whiskey? Say yes, take my whiskey. I go and sleep. While you are worrying yourself, I'm just sleeping very well, you know. So when you see me, say, why is it that you are not worried? I say, worried for what? What's the problem? They are calling your name everywhere. I say, if I'm not important, would they call my name? So don't bother yourself, we'll do our work. Here, just where we are going to flag off the industrial court. People have started developing. I said, who are these people developing here? They said, oh, we are private developers. I said, okay, because you have seen road, eh? I said, okay, here are where judges will live. I have declared here as judges' quarters. So I don't know I'm going to take over the whole land there, and which I did. They started complaining. I said, look, I'll pay compensation. Come and take your compensation. I don't know who is going to build, who is going to stay at the third floor. I'm looking to where the judges are staying. Some could be kidnappers, you never can tell. And then they are waiting for you. They are able to come out from the gate. Something happens. So I've taken over the whole of that land. Even the one that is there, I've told them to ask the owner, we are buying it off. I hand it over to the judicial, so that we will have to also protect them. It's very important. The contractor for this project has said there will be a police station. I don't know who told him. I hope you know that you will not be the contractor. That is a different job. So don't include it in your own new job now. You know, Nigerians will have it this way. Instead of you to come directly to say, look, since you're going to build a police station, since I'm still here, let me do it. You have come to announce that there will be a police station as if you are the one that was going to pay. So that is not for you. Yes, we are building a police station, but it will go to another contractor so that you don't go home and start jubilating. Now, my Lord, let me say this. Very beautiful. Everybody has seen it. Everybody commended it. But the problem we have is lack of maintenance culture. I have told people, yes, you may say it's government property, but who is occupying it? You must take it as your own personal property. The way you live in your own private house is also the way you should take it. Mr. President, I don't want you to be angry because you are president, you are also the Attorney General. When I built the Nigerian Law School campus in Port Harcourt, I provided everything, lecturers' quarters, wherever, kept things that they will use to make money to sustain the school. But you can't believe it, if they go back there, they can't cut the grasses. I feel so bad. You see, I tell people, it is easy to criticize those in power. But I also ask you, you that is managing ordinary association, ordinary one small campus, You cannot take care of it. Not to talk about governing a complex country like this. When you see anything, you criticize the government. But small thing for you to carry out is difficult. That is not the way it's supposed to be. We will be happy in the next 6 months if we come here. It still looks neat like this. So, my Lord, I don't know how you are going to do it, but please emphasize to them that you cannot talk of being a person to God if you don't take cleanliness very, very serious. So I beg that in the next 6 months, we should see this building as it takes, even though the contractor has 6 months maintenance before you finally hand over. But it's very, very keen. Let me also say that federal government cannot do everything. It is not possible. I challenge states, governors, I say this. If there's one division in state A, and that state A, the governor knows that, the federal high court is there. Whom are they rendering services to? They are not rendering services to state B. It's state A. The Court of Appeal is there. Whom are they rendering services to? It's their state. The industrial court is there. When I was governor, we used to go to Bayelsa State for industrial court. And 80% of the cases come from rivers. So I said, why are we going to Bayelsa? I came and met the then president of the industrial court. I said, sir, why do we go to Bayelsa? He said, well, they approached the state and the state was not willing. I said, I'm willing. Give me the designs. He gave me the designs. We built for them, provided accommodations for them. Today, our people no longer go to Bayelsa to have their cases. You can imagine going to Bayelsa and anything can happen, accident or whatever. So it behoves on us. Look at our Court of Appeal in Port Harcourt. As a governor, the whole place was leaking. They are merely sitting with plastic chairs. I said, no, I want to say this so people understand. When they say, oh, you are doing this is to buy judiciary over. Let me say this clearly. As at that time, Justice Bukachua was the president of the Court of Appeal. My election was nullified. My lord here was the chairman of the panel who nullified my election that time. Apart from this, our Lagos have not been there. I think another Court of Appeal that you can go to that's neat is the division of the Court of Appeal. Look at the residences of the justices. So I didn't wait for federal government. If I wait for federal government, it will take a long time. So I challenge states, do not leave everything for federal government. Take also that look, it doesn't cost us much. You will see that judiciary will be different. That independence we are talking about, they will have it. So state A, if you have a division, do the same thing. How many justices are there? Highest in those divisions will be 5. You can provide accommodation for them and build a befitting. Nobody will say that you did not do anything. There was a time at lawyers, the body of benchers invited all lawyers who are members of the profession. And that time they had to build, complete the body of benchers hall. All of us, the lawyers, were about 5. government does not want to fund the judiciary. No infrastructure, find English language. You speak from Queen's English, those who went to Harvard, Oxford, but you were there. What did you do? It's easy to criticize. What did you do? So, for us, my Lord, we will continue to do whatever it is important to do. And that's why Mr. President has said, look, do not bother. Go ahead and do whatever you think we should do to improve the welfare of judges and justices. So, Mr. President, I thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. I don't think there's any sane person that will come here and will say it's not fine. No. If you are doing your work, maybe in the midnight, you're a bit tired, you can come out here, take a chair, relax. Maybe you want to communicate to God. It's easier that time to communicate to God because you're in a silent place, very quiet environment. God does not answer when the place is noisy. God answers prayers when the place is calm. I've had that experience. On that note, sir, I invite you to come and commission this to the glory of God. Thank you very much.
My Lord, the Honorable the President of Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Monica Dongba-Mensah, CFR, my Lord of the National Industrial Court, that is the President of National Industrial Court, Honorable Justice Benedict Kanye, PhD, OFR, my noble lords of the Court of Appeal here present, and there are many, my brother of the Federal Executive Council, John Moke Enon, Honorable Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, my noble Lord, distinguished members of the National Assembly, particularly the senators here present, my Lord and the Honorable Ministers, Joel of inestimable value, Honorable Justice Susan Eberechi Wike, JCA, my brother Silk, Dimian Dodo, I recognize you because I know that you have always been showing keen interest in the affairs of the judiciary. Thank you very much for coming. Professor, again, Mrs. Engineer Abu, I mentioned yesterday that he was I regard her as a professor, and I still do, for reasons that I gave yesterday. Members of the Fourth Estate of the REM, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I join your lordships, distinguished guests, and members of the legal community at this important occasion of commissioning the 10th Court of Appeal Judges' Quarters here in the Federal Capital Territory, Katampe, Federal Capital Territory. This event marks part of the series of judicial infrastructure projects being commissioned over a 3-week period to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of this administration. We are now in the 2nd week of this historic and unprecedented exercise. Yesterday, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented me to commission the magnificent Court of Appeal Complex, a landmark project that stands as a testament to this administration's dedication to improving the physical infrastructure of our justice sector. Today, we gather to commission yet another critical facility, that is the 10th Court of Appeal Judges' Quarters. I am particularly honored to be here today, and I understand and I say that under my leadership, I can assure you of the federal government's unwavering commitment to strengthening democratic institutions and advancing the administration of justice continue to inspire confidence in our nation's governance architecture. Today's event is much more than the unveiling of a physical infrastructure. It is a tangible demonstration of federal government's enduring commitment to the welfare, independence, efficiency, and dignity of the judiciary. It reflects our collective understanding that a strong and effective justice sector requires not only sound laws and competent judicial officers, but also the infrastructure and support system necessary to enable the judiciary to perform its constitutional responsibilities without hindrance. The commissioning of these judges' quarters is particularly significant because it is the direct outcome of our deliberate policy of providing practical support to the judiciary as a co-equal arm of government, recognizing the critical role of the court in sustaining democracy, protecting rights, resolving disputes, and fostering economic development. I directed the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory to undertake this important project as part of the administration's broad efforts to strengthen judicial institutions and improve the welfare of judicial officers. Worthy of note is that this project, as I keep saying, is a special intervention by the federal government, distinct and separate from the judiciary's statutory budgetary allocation, which have themselves witnessed significant increases under my administration. Their delivery, therefore, goes beyond the fulfillment of routine funding obligations and a deliberate, far-reaching commitment to strengthening the judiciary through sustained investment in critical infrastructure, thereby enhancing its independence and effectiveness. I wish to commend my dependable, hardworking, diligent, and a man of taste, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON, and his team for the diligence, dedication, and efficiency with which this directive was implemented. The successful completion of this project is a testament to what can be achieved when leadership is guided by vision, commitment, and a genuine desire to serve the public interest. Under my leadership, the federal government has consistently demonstrated its support for the judiciary through various initiatives. These include sustained engagement on judicial welfare, improvement in judicial infrastructure, support for institutional reforms, and measures aimed at enhancing the efficiency and effectiveness of justice delivery across the country. This administration firmly believes that the judiciary must be adequately resourced and empowered to discharge its constitutional mandate in a manner that inspires public trust and confidence. Indeed, the welfare of judicial officers is not a matter of privilege. It is a strategic investment in the rule of law. When judges are provided with secure accommodation, conducive working environments, and the institutional support necessary to carry out their functions, the entire justice system benefits, and ultimately, the nation as well. If you look to your right, your far right, which is my own far left, is a large expanse of land devoted or earmarked for the construction of judges' quarters of the National Industrial Courts and Code of Conduct Bureau. Behind me is a large expanse of land devoted to the construction, which will soon be commissioned, of judges of the Federal High Court and High Court of Federal Capital Territory. Well, it's still going on. And I wonder whether this area should not be declared the Judiciary Boulevard or Judiciary Area. A well-supported judiciary is indispensable to good governance, economic growth, investment confidence, and social stability. Accordingly, every effort must be made to strengthen judicial institutions. Accordingly, every effort made to strengthen judicial institutions should be seen not as a mere expenditure, but an investment in democracy, peace, and national development. I am confident that these facilities will not only enhance the welfare and comfort of distinguished justices of the Court of Appeal who will occupy it, but will also contribute to greater institutional effectiveness and the continued delivery of quality justice to the Nigerian people. I congratulate the President of the Court of Appeal and honorable justices of the Court of Appeal, the Federal Capital Territory Administration under the able leadership of His Excellency Nyesom Wike, CON, Live Ventures, and all those whose efforts have contributed to the realization of this project. As we celebrate this achievement, I wish to respectfully encourage state governments and other subnational authorities across the Federation to emulate this commendable example. The responsibility of supporting the judiciary does not rest solely with the federal government. State governments have a corresponding obligation to ensure that their respective judiciaries are adequately funded, properly equipped, and provided with infrastructure necessary for effective service delivery. That said, I now say that it is now my singular honor and privilege on behalf of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to formally commission the 10th Court of Appeal Judges' Quarters. May these facilities serve its purpose for many years to come and stand as a lasting symbol of our collective commitment to justice, rule of law, and national progress. Thank you very much, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
We thank the representative of Mr. President, the Attorney General. We thank him for delivering Mr. President's speech. I'd like to welcome and greet the Chief Judge of the FCT High Court, Honorable Justice Hussaini Baba Yusuf, Secretary NJC, Barrister Ahmed Gambo Saleh, Esquire.
To the glory of God and advancement of the rule of law, it is my honor and privilege to cut the tape of this residence. May those who be living here live in peace and achieve the purpose for which the judiciary is established. Thank you.
Where's the flag? Uncle, where's the flag? The flag.
to tally.